We go. Hello, everyone. I'm Catherine Biroy, your personal growth and business coach, and I have just one mission to help you do what you love and make your dream business flourish. Therefore, I'm bringing in experts to talk about different topics with them. And I couldn't be more happier. Before I read her bio, I want to say she was one of the first people in this entire world who actually believed in me when I was about to publish my book, which you already all know about. And she wrote a foreword for my book. And I would like publicly to thank her this way. Thank you so much, because that was the first step which actually changed my life.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so happy to be here and to see you again and seeing all the amazing things you're doing. I'm thrilled to see your success.
Thank you so much. So, let me please introduce you a little bit to my audience. Roxana Jones is an award winning and best selling author and spiritual life coach, helping women to overcome their midlife challenges. She is the author of the bestseller and award winning book, While I Was Learning to Become a God, among other works. Since 2011, Roxana has helped thousands of people across the world through her books, articles, and coaching programs. You can find her on social media, where she regularly shares her inspirational quotes and messages with her online community, over 150,000 members. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. So, what's actually midlife, and how do you see that transformation?
Yeah,
Which
you know that word midlife has is such a mysterious word nowadays, because people relate it when it comes to men, they relate it with the midlife crisis. And when it comes to women, they relate it to the menopause, but I don't agree with any of those, because I would say that midlife is just like the period after you have just accomplished all the roles that you have in life. Like, let's say that you are a mother, you are a wife, you have become an entrepreneur, and then you accomplish all of it, like you reach a level in your life where you have developed all the social roles you wanted to achieve in life. And then you start asking the question, what now? Now that you already have all of that, like it's a big question for for the majority of us, I would say. But not many of us have the courage to continue doing the research in order to find out what's next.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would say that midlife is just like that period between 35, even 35 to 60, more or less, like that area, like gray area where so many of us are just like not knowing if we're going in the right direction.
Yeah, I know.
I know that you know. It's very important to have that very clear in your mind, like knowing that time passes by and very fast,
Mhm.
and you should have a clarity of um, where are you going, where is your life going towards to.
And I believe that's actually very important. As sooner as we get aware of that, then we can actually work on our own transformation.
Correct,
And
correct.
when I think of you, I see a beautiful light of transformation. That is my association
Oh my
every
goodness.
time I think of you.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, yeah, my life hasn't been like a garden of roses, because I decided when I was really young to find out who was I, who was me, who was this person that had a name, a last name, and a social role as a woman, somebody that would get married someday and everything. So I started very early on asking many questions. So I was kind of like a little bit curious in that sense, like.
Mhm.
So I started going within very early, as a teenager, I guess. My spiritual path started, and I I really believe that I would do it all over again, because yeah, it's not been easy because well, there are not many people out there doing the same. So I had to go against the flow, like for example, my family didn't understand me, and so it was a little bit complicated to get to where I am today. But here I am, happy and totally, I would say, self-realized, because I wake up in the mornings and I say, oh my goodness, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity of being alive one more day. And
And
that's a blessing to see life that way.
that's a blessing to see life that way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I know your life wasn't so easy. I'm familiar with a little bit of your story. Would you like to share your story a little bit?
Oh my goodness, we would need like 5 or 10 hours to at least share a little bit of everything that I've gone through. But it's uh, basically, yeah, I got married very young. Like I was 21 when I got married. I was one of those women that believed in the story, the Cinderella story, that we grew up being conditioned with. And so I got married very early. I didn't know my husband a lot. I didn't know myself a lot, better said. So yeah, the marriage wasn't very successful. I wasn't very happy. Even though it lasted like for 12 years. I had my 2 daughters, beautiful daughters. I love them. But yeah, I had to end all that stage in my life and everything. And after that happened, well, I was married with a very wealthy person, so my life was very luxurious and surrounded with a lot of material things. So after I got divorced, I started losing it all. But that was the best thing that could ever happen to me, because as I didn't know how to create a material wealth for myself, because somebody else was providing that for me. Once I was on my own, I had to learn and find a way of doing it on my own. So that was a blessing, another one of the big blessings. And I started uh, learning. I started to see how was it that I had to go along in my life and make it work. And then that was when I started realizing that I had to discover my true self, my inner self, that source of everything that's going on in the life of anybody. Like that's so important to be able to say yes to that learning, that path of learning, that knowing that self. And so I would say that that struggles, pain, all difficult situations in life are truly a blessing in disguise. I'm not saying that as a cliche, because I've lived it. Like all the difficult things that I've gone through, I would really do them again, because it was thanks to them that I jumped into the next version of myself. So I would say that struggle and pain and difficulties in life are part of success. You can't separate them from success. Like we all have this dream in our heads that success is just, oh, I'm going to be successful, and then in a month's time we made it. But then, yeah, there's a lot of memes out there in the internet where that iceberg that shows just the little tip, and then there's this big chunk of ice underneath the ocean. That's precisely what happens. Like the chunk of ice that's underneath the ocean is all the things that we're gonna have to go through in order to get to the little tip on top.
Yes. The overnight success, which actually lasted 20 years.
There you go. And it usually takes like 10 to 20.
Yeah, that's what people ask me, like, how you did all of this, but I didn't start yesterday. Come on. give me a little bit of slack there. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I actually started this podcast, and that's why I inviting people like you. I see you as someone who is doing everything from the hard space. When I was starting out, I had no idea how am I going to publish that book. I had no idea why am I going to, it just came to me like from my inner self that I need to do that. And you already were established best-selling author. You already had an
Yeah.
online presence. You already were the shining light and the leader. And I felt something just to ask you. And you
Yeah, I
stepped up
remember. I
for me.
remember that time.
You stepped up for me. And look what you did.
Oh, my dear, I didn't do it. You were the one that did it all, you know. You know, that's so beautiful to see that that ripple effect, you know, the paying it forward, because I also had my own people that believed in me, and I thank them because I am here nowadays thanks to them. So it's kind of like it goes, you have to pay it forward all the time. So that's the only thing that I did, and I was so happy because at that time I saw you, you were young and you were starting and you had all that energy, you know, that desire of making it happen, you know.
Yes.
And so yeah, I love to see that in people, you know, like that drive, that energy of passion that makes it happen, you know, for the person.
Yes. And you
So you,
actually taught me. I remember you said, would you like to write it and then we will work on it? And when I did, you
yeah,
said, let's make it a little smoother. And then you wrote like a symphony. And I was like
I
completely amazed.
remember, yeah, I
Remember
remember that.
that? Yeah. And it truly was like that. And that is the moment when I actually realized that I really can do something with my life, that I really can change something, that I really can transform not just my life, but many more lives around me. And now I believe when we touch one heart and when we help one person, that person actually is better for
Oh,
the family and then for the neighborhood and then for, the ripple
that's the way
effect.
it works. That's the way
That's
it
the
works.
way it
Yeah,
works.
it's
And imagine if everyone just gives a little bit of themselves to that positive ripple
yeah.
effect. What a wonderful world that would be.
Oh my goodness, it's so, and you know, as I was saying before, it's not about money, you know, because people have that idea that they have to do something with their lives that it's going to pay them, give them back the money that they need to survive and to pay bills and everything, and it doesn't work that way. It's just the moment that you surrender completely to the universe, and you decide to do whatever is your passion,
Mhm.
the universe, and this sounds like, yeah, of course, yeah, she does it because whatever, you know, but people don't believe it, but it truly happens that way, that
Mhm.
once you surrender everything, the universe is going to start bringing you
Yes.
everything you need to make it
Yes.
happen for you.
Yes. It's actually
So
opposite. It's like when you give and then money just flows. It's not
it
I'm
flows.
working to earn money. It's I'm working to help people. I
Correct.
was watching one quest about money, and I will not mention the instructor, but he said there is a happy money and there is a struggling money.
Yeah, yeah, I've
Happy
heard that
money
before.
is when you're doing something that you love and you're
Hmm.
helping people, and the money that they pay you for is actually something that they are grateful that you did for them.
Correct.
And struggling money is when you are actually doing something that you have to do in order to
Hmm.
pay bills and all of that, and you're always in lack.
Correct.
So that's
Yeah.
that's like a complete shift, but that's again inner transformation which needs to happen for
Everything
all
is
of
inner
us.
transformation, and we all have to realize that everything is energy. You know, even money,
Mhm.
even everything is just purely energy, and
Yeah.
the way you're treating that energy, starting from within yourself, it's going to bring a different result in your life, you know. So if it's money, well, money, then if you, the beliefs that you have around money are the ones that are going to bring whatever result money is going to bring to you, just because you haven't done the work inside of you. And so
Exactly.
everything has to do with the mind, like that going back to
To
the,
upgrade.
you need to upgrade, exactly. And daily, on a daily basis,
On
you
a
have
daily
to, like, yeah.
like
It's,
iPhone, they're always upgrading.
it's so funny that we are very open to the upgrades of all our technological devices and everything, but we don't see that we also have to upgrade.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a constant work. Like in my case, I constantly working on myself, like
Yeah.
I don't have a day when, even though I work a lot and I help a lot of people with my coaching, I also do my self coaching.
Yeah.
Like in the day, I do have time for me in the mornings and before going to bed, when I dedicate to myself and to reconnecting again with
Mm-hmm.
my heart and my true self, because the day can go fast, so fast, and you can just be so focused on little things that are not really important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
it's you have to make it a part of your day.
Yeah. Exactly. When we go back to the midlife, what is actually like the thing that 90% of people are missing out?
They're missing out. Well, basically, the way I see it is that everybody is in their minds.
Mm-hmm.
This is a society, the Western world has become so focused on the mind, and we use the mind in a way that it's not completely positive for us, because we're just thinking on the material side of things. So we're just looking on the outside, looking out for people, for the relationships, the engagement, the businesses we do and everything. And then we have forgotten to go within, to it's I would say that it has to have a balance. Our life has to have a balance,
Mm-hmm.
where the without has to connect with the within. But
Mm-hmm.
right now everybody is just doing it with the without,
Mm-hmm.
and so the mind is completely projecting towards the outside,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not working, because people don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're not connected with their inner self, with who they are, and they forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not saying that to criticize anyone, but it happened to me too, and that's the reason why we were talking earlier about my divorce and everything. And I really had a very difficult time for many years, where I was really depressed, and I even tried to commit suicide once,
Mm-hmm.
because I was totally had given up on life, and I, now that I look back and I see and I know what I know, which means just that I have learned from many other
Mm-hmm.
teachers and gurus and masters who have helped me throughout my years of
Mm-hmm.
knowing all this, that it's just like, you have to find a way of saying, I'm not going to be distracted with the outside. I'm going to do everything possible to get into myself and look, where is the problem?
Mm-hmm.
Why is my life so unhappy, or
Mm-hmm.
this is not working, or I'm not having the success that I want,
Mm-hmm.
etc. Whatever problem is it, like we all have problems, and we have to realize that the problem is only, the solution is going to be always inside of you, always.
Mm-hmm.
You can kid yourself thinking that somebody else is going to solve it for you, but that's not the way it works.
That's not the
That's
way it
just going
works.
to, it's going to solve it for a while, for a short period of time, but
Mm-hmm.
life is going to bring you again to the fact that you're going to have to realize that it's you, the one that has to do the work, and it has, you have to be open to the fact that it has to take some time, like
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to happen overnight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, so yeah, and then the true self. Well, yeah, everybody talks about the true self. What is the true self?
And everybody is using that term, like be authentic, but no one actually knows what it
Be
really
authentic,
means.
exactly. And then be authentic. Some people think that being authentic is just coloring their hair color in
Yeah.
red, like, and that's, well, that's a little bit of it, because you're supposed to do whatever you want to do with your life and with the person that you are, and you're supposed to look as you wish, but that's just like 5% of all of it, like your true self is more on the spiritual side, like your true self is not the person, the one that you can touch, your physical body. That's not your true self. Your true self, you discover it once you begin to meditate, once you begin to realize that there's so much more of you that you're not seeing. Like 95% of you're not seeing,
Yes.
because we were taught and conditioned to believe that we are the physical body and that's it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we're not. That's just such a tiny little portion of who we truly are, like, and then once you begin opening your heart to that beautiful, amazing, uh, empowering self of yours, well, I promise you, every day in your life is going to become so magical that you won't be able to stop. It's
And we
going to
are
be
the living proof of that, both of
We
us.
are the living proof of that. Exactly.
I will be honest, I never said this in public, but I also had the suicidal thoughts.
Oh, really?
Yes, I really was struggling when I was diagnosed with actually, Coxsackie virus affected my heart. You are familiar with that
Correct.
probably.
Yeah, I
And
remember that.
my heart was stopping 10,000 times per day.
Oof.
And watching my mom, how she suffers because they diagnosed me, I might live just a year. And everything just crumbled all around me. I've um, I've lost the sense of actually
Mm,
wanting to be alive,
yes.
and I really had suicidal thoughts. And my mom back then took me to the monastery where I spent 7 days or so with monks. And one day a monk came to me. He put his palm on my head and he said, "You're not going anywhere. This world needs love, and you are love."
Oh, that's so beautiful. Wow,
Those
that's
words were enough to
were
just
enough.
open my heart, and I was crying maybe even half an hour. But went back home, I did medical tests again, and I was perfectly fine.
You see, it's miraculous.
Yeah.
Once you let go of all the negativity, that negative self-talk that is always going there in the background, like you have to do something to just control it, because if not, it can take your life away.
Yes, yes. And then I started to write my book to help people to transform themselves. But the funny thing is, so, I was always on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and so on, but LinkedIn became something very like the place there where you should be. And I was like, I'm heart-centered entrepreneur. And now I need to step into place where everyone is in 3D and everyone is doing business like in very material way. And
Yeah,
now I need to explain them that it's not about know how, but it's about inner transformation.
correct.
Okay, let's see how that's going to work. you know?
But there you go, it worked.
It worked. Because we are all people and
We're
people
all
need
people,
to
exactly.
feel, they need to feel they are understood, they need to feel that they are not alone, and they need to feel that there is a way. And then everything just started to grow. So wherever we are, if we just are true to ourselves and really open up, I don't want to use word authentic because that's so cliche now. It's
It
like,
is, yeah.
yeah, like, but being myself and truly saying, and they were like, No, you are selling. No, I'm not selling. I'm talking to people. No, you are selling. No, I'm not selling. I'm talking to people. It just
There is a difference.
there is a difference. But your conversion rate is so high. It's not a conversion rate, it's a relationship. You know,
Exactly. Yeah. No. Some people still don't get it, because they're so in their left brain that
yes.
they don't. They still, and those are precisely the ones that have to start opening their hearts
Mhm.
and realizing that life can be lived in such a different way, in such a better way. Like it's not about that competition of selling. And no, you're gonna end up getting the clients anyway,
Yeah.
but
It's
it's going to be through your true self and your authentic self, which is not what you think it is.
yeah, and
So
who,
yeah,
who know what is going to come up out of there, because
exactly.
you will have beautiful relationships and collaborations and everything. You're just going to open the door. They say to me, all doors are open for you. No, they're not open for me. I am open to receive the offerings
Exactly.
which are coming to me.
I
So
love
we are
that.
hearing learn to say no. I agree with that. We can't
Hmm.
get burned out, but say yes more often, because maybe that's the door you need to open
Correct.
actually.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's you
Yeah.
have to you. Well, I again, it's once you discover your true self, you're gonna know the balance between the no and the yes. Like
Yes.
you're gonna know exactly to whom you say yes and to whom you say no. It's so
You're going to
beautiful to
feel
see.
that. And
You
no
feel
is
it.
going to be a very easy no.
Hmm.
And if it is not like hell yes, then it's no again.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, it happens so easily. Like you immediately know the person that you can say the yes.
Yes.
You don't even have to listen to the person. You know with the energy of a person that that's a yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah,
it's easy.
it's easy.
That's what I want people to realize. It's very easy. It's not a funnel. It's not a conversion rate. I was a programmer 13 years. I know
I know.
technology like, like my own finger, but
Hmm.
it's not a technology. It's not a funnel. It's not.
Well, let's say that the technology helps you because it's
Yes,
a
it
tool that
helps.
you have.
Mhm.
But then you're using all those tools that you have gathered throughout the years in order for you to now have the let's say intuitive relationships that you're having.
Yes. Exactly, exactly. So, how do we find our true self?
Ooh, that's the big question, the multi-million dollar question, because that's kind of like that actually that's a question coming from the mind, from our mental body, because
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
our mind is the one that wants to have the like all the answers, and everything has to be like in 1 through 3 step formula, and it has to sound very easy,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't work that way. If you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to dedicate to find my true self, you will never find it.
Oh.
Because that's going to be just like the ego trying to trick you, telling you that you have found your authentic self, and it doesn't work that way. Like, first of all, we're going to have to go beyond the mind, beyond the ego, beyond. We're going to have to learn how to manage our thoughts, like the thoughts that are happening all the time. We're going to have to begin to observe the negative thoughts, and see the positive ones, and just choose the positive. So it's kind of like a small process that you're going to have to go through in order for you
Mm-hmm,
to get better at this, but it's so
mm-hmm,
worth it. You already know that. And
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
your life is going to transform in such a magical way that you're not going to go back ever again to the person that
Mm.
you used to be.
I mean, I love that person, but
Of
she,
course, of
she is
course.
going to stay over there.
She's going to stay there. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, me too. I think that I wouldn't go back. No, no, because once you discover you are living from this new level, this new perspective, well, you see how much struggle you were having back then. Like
Yes.
things were so difficult. Everything had to be like with a struggle and with a heaviness that it's really that's not the way the authentic life happens, like. And I would say that God, or whatever source, or whatever name you're using for your God, I would say that God didn't put you here to suffer. I don't believe in that type of gods, like the ones that are making you suffer and not giving you what you deserve, like I really believe that God wants you to be happy and have everything that you came here for. That's kind of like my type of God.
Mine too. And it's like we humans, all through all these civilizations, we created so many structures. Everything is structured. And now I think we just need fluidity. Just like release that and go with the flow. So many things we put in boxes. As a programmer, I know everything needs to be in procedures, everything needs to be in a line. When you go out, the traffic is like that. Everything is like that.
Everything is like that.
But
everything is like that because it was the mind that created everything.
The mind that created everything. But what if we just let it flow?
Well, we're going to have to. Our survival depends on it, Catherine.
Yeah.
I really do believe that if we don't do this awakening on our own, if we don't begin to realize that there's something so much more that we're missing, we're not going to be able to survive as a species, like in the planet. Because the planet is going to, I wouldn't say that the planet is going to disappear or it's going to explode or whatever. The planet is just going to shake itself again, and we're going to disappear, and the planet is going to start all over again. But we as humanity, we need to start becoming aware, raising our consciousness, and realizing that we're not getting it, we're not doing it the right way, so, and nobody's going to do it for us. That's the other thing, like it's not the government, it's not the president, it's each and every one of us, slowly but surely in our homes, trying to get better at ourselves each day, every day, one day at a time,
I actually heard Marisa Peer saying we tend to expect from our partner or someone else to come and fix our lives. But we are the only one who can fix our lives, because I'm the only person who is going to spend the entire lifetime with myself. It's not guaranteed that anyone else will.
No one else, like that's we can go back again to what I was saying about being focused on the external world, like on the people that you have on the outside. None of the solutions are there. You're gonna have to choose a new belief and stop thinking that everything you're gonna find it outside of yourself, because that's just you're gonna be totally feeling a bit deception, because it doesn't work that way. Yes, it works for a while, but it doesn't. After a few years, you're going to start seeing that no, it's not, your life is not flowing as you would really like it to flow. I don't know. In my case, I have the privilege of knowing wealthy people that I used to know when I was married with my ex-husband and so on, and I truly know the way they think, the way they well, not everyone, because I also know a lot of millionaires and wealthy people that are not very happy, but those that are happy, they really know how to manage and how to control their minds. That's the key. Everything is mindset. Everything is working in your mindset. And where is the mind? Well, it's within. It's not without.
Yeah. And the most beautiful thing happened to me 2 days ago. A friend of mine came. He was looking at me strangely, and he said, "You changed. You did something. I want the same. Show me. What are you doing?" So it's not just like online and everything, but real people, if I may say so, who are around me, see the
They see the
transformation.
difference. Yeah.
And it took me 5 years to live my purposeful life so that they can see that really it's possible. And now I'm more than happy that they are approaching, asking to upgrade.
That's amazing.
To
That's
do that.
amazing. But you've said something very, very important, because that's the key, I believe, of what we're talking about. It's that the person has to be willing to leave the old self behind
Yes,
and make the shift into the new self.
yes.
Because if not, it's not going to work. Like the majority are trying to make the changes from the old self, and
Yes.
the old self is that person that has a lot of uh, wrong ideas about how the things work.
Mhm,
So you have to be willing and totally open to just shift. And when I
mhm,
mean shift, is completely change, shift from who you are into a new mindset completely,
mhm,
like a new way of thinking about everything. You have to change your beliefs, your emotional part,
mhm,
uh, and make a lot of healing also, because the
mhm,
healing is important. It's what
mhm.
I'm saying is not something that it's going to happen very fast,
Yeah, it will
but
take
you have
years.
to enjoy the process while it happens, because you can really enjoy it if you know that you're going towards a goal,
Mm-hmm.
if you know where you're going to, because the problem is when you don't have a direction.
Yes, yes.
That's where it gets tricky.
A bit tricky.
A bit tricky, yeah. And then the ego can put you just to go around and around and around endlessly, like in an
Yes,
eternal
yes.
loop. So you have to be very careful with your mind,
That
because
can be seriously tricky if ego takes over and start pushing you back where you actually started and go back and forth. And yeah, it happened to me also. I mean, we all go through that
we all go
transformation.
through that.
We all
Yeah,
go
of
through that.
course.
But that's
Yeah.
why I say the sooner we realize, the better. And I say, what if I started before? But no, everything happens in
No,
divine timing, and it
perfect timing.
started exactly when it needed to start. And now
Yeah.
the favorite part of the interview, which I know you adore. I am
Okay,
going
let's see. Let's
to
see.
ask you very quick questions. I know
Okay.
my audience love this. I know my guests love it even more. So you have like 10 seconds to answer me. It's very easy. First one,
10 seconds. My goodness. Okay.
what's your favorite book?
My favorite book. Oh my goodness. Instead of a book, I'm going to give you an author that's going to change the life of anyone that's listening to this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Neville Goddard.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend any book of Neville. Neville changed my life forever. So that's my little
Really?
tip. Yeah, Neville
Okay.
Neville
I'm
Goddard is he's not living anymore. Like he was a teacher of Joe Vitale, the
uh-huh, uh-huh. Of
one of
course
the
I know.
teachers in The Secret.
I know.
I knew Neville Goddard through Joe Vitale, and really life transformational. I
Wonderful.
truly recommend it.
Thanks so much. I'm getting them all. Okay.
Yes,
So,
please do.
the second one. What do you do in your free time?
Whew, free time.
What's
Well, what a
that?
word. What a concept.
What's that?
What's that? Free time. Well, I would say that I meditate when I have free time. Free time for me is waking up in the morning and having like a little extra time to meditate. And before going to bed, I also meditate. I'm a very, uh, I would say, like a meditation addict. Because meditation has changed my life. So that's another tip that I would like to recommend, because it's really, really indispensable to have a happy life.
I do the same. I do the same. From
Perfect.
2008. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I wouldn't change it for nothing else.
Yeah, yeah, me neither, definitely. And the last one, so you can relax. What would be your advice for generations to come when it comes to the transformation and finding their true selves?
Well, that's precisely what I would recommend would be to do anything and everything possible to find their true self. That sounds like really general, but sorry. I would say that's the basic of life, like that has to become your life purpose.
Mm-hmm.
To understand what is it that we are meaning by those words.
Mm-hmm.
What is your true self? Like, ask yourself the question, who am I? Who am I, and who is beyond the name, the person, the personality? What is behind all that? Like, you really have to make those questions, because those answers are the ones that are going to make you happy in life.
Yes.
I totally, I 100% believe in that.
Yes, me too. Me
So
too.
to anyone growing up and being young right now, not knowing too well what they're going to do with their life yet,
Mm-hmm.
please find your true self first.
Yes, I usually make a joke with my son. He's 4 years old,
Oh,
and I often ask him, who are you? And his name is Alexander, but
yes.
the short is Aca. So he
Okay.
says, Aca.
You
Like,
see? There you go. Society starts really early on to tell us that we are that, we're just a person.
why are you asking me that? So he knows.
He knows who he is.
Yeah. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for being my guest. I truly enjoyed, and I hope you did too. And just tell us where people can find you and what we can expect from your magic until the end of the
Oh,
year.
thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it. I love you. I love all the beautiful things you're doing in the world to change people's lives.
Thank you.
So my website is roxanajones.com. And I'm happy to receive you there. You're more than welcome. Go there, visit me, connect with me on social media. I usually have like my Instagram, my Facebook. I'm kind of like posting there a lot lately.
Mhm.
So you can connect with me there. And I don't know, I think I sent you the ebook, the free ebook that I had.
Yes, you did.
You see
We
that?
will post it. Yeah, we will
Yeah,
post
if,
it
if somebody wants to
in
read
the
that, because
description. Yes.
the ebook has like more or less some tips that are going to help everybody to become better persons, and reaching that higher level, and like raising the vibration, which is so very important at this moment, and that we're living with all these current events that the world is
Especially
seeing.
now. Especially
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
yeah. So thank you so much for having me. I had a great time, and I wish you all the best with this podcast.
It's my pleasure, and thank you once again. Bye.
Oh, bye.